Captain Saracen stared at the alien vessel through the bridge viewport of the UES horizon. Its crystalline structure reflected starlight in ways that defied human engineering, beautiful yet menacing. First contact with the Nexari had gone catastrophically wrong within minutes of translation attempts. "They're charging weapons again," Lieutenant Rodriguez reported, his hand steady over the tactical console, despite the tension in his voice. Sarah had tried everything: universal peace signs, mathematical sequences, even broadcasting Earth's entire history of first contact protocols. The Nexari responded only with salvos of energy weapons that tested the horizon's shields to their limits. "They see us as vermin," Dr. Wei, the xenolinguist, said quietly. Their initial transmission contained references to purification and cleansing. They believe their civilization is the only one worthy of spacefaring status. Sarah gripped her command chair as another blast rocked the ship. The Nexari's technological superiority was evident, but humanity hadn't survived this long by giving up. "Launch the quantum comm buoys. Earth needs to know what we're facing. And get me solutions, people. There has to be a way to make them understand we're not their enemy." Months passed as the conflict escalated. The Nexari pushed deeper into human space, their fleets seemingly endless. Humanity fought back with innovation and desperate courage, turning asteroids into weapons, developing new shield frequencies, and proving that determination could match raw technological advantage. But everything changed when the first Void Swarm ships appeared on the edge of both human and Nexari space. The true enemy had arrived, and neither civilization was prepared for what followed. The Void Swarm arrived like a cancer spreading across the stars. Captain Chen watched the tactical display as another human colony went dark, followed hours later by a Nexari outpost. The enemy consumed everything in its path, organic or synthetic, leaving only empty husks of planets behind. "We've intercepted Nexari distress calls," Rodriguez reported. "Their outer rim colonies are falling faster than ours. Their weapons seem even less effective against the swarm." Sarah studied the quantum readings from the latest swarm attack. The creatures defied conventional physics, their ships seemingly made of living dark matter. They didn't communicate, negotiate, or show any sign of intelligence beyond their terrifying efficiency at consumption. "Send the data to the Nexari flagship," she ordered, surprising her crew. "They need to see this." "Captain," Dr. Wei protested, "they're still our enemies. They'll just use this information against us." Sarah shook her head. "Look at the projection models. Neither of us survives this alone. The Nexari's arrogance might be their downfall, but it'll be ours too if we let it." For the first time in months, the Nexari responded with more than weapons fire. Their transmission contained detailed scans of swarm behavior in their territory. It wasn't surrender or friendship, but it was communication. "They're scared," Dr. Wei translated, his voice quiet. "Their message, they're admitting they've never encountered anything like this. They're asking if we have." Sarah leaned forward in her chair. "Send them everything we have on the swarm. And add this message: the enemy of my enemy isn't always my friend, but today they might need to be." The next transmission from the Nexari came faster than any before. A single word in broken human English: "Agree." The UES Horizon's bridge had never felt more crowded. 3 Nexari representatives stood beside the command chair, their crystalline bodies refracting light across the consoles. High Commander Ixil, their leader, moved with liquid grace as she examined the tactical displays. "Your weapon's primitive," she said in halting English, "but your strategies, unexpected. Effective." Sarah nodded. The past week of joint operations had revealed surprising truths about both species. The Nexari's technological superiority came from rigid thinking and perfect execution. Humanity's greatest strength was their ability to improvise, to find solutions where none should exist. "The swarm adapts to patterns," Sarah explained. "That's why your standard tactics are failing. We need to be unpredictable." The tactical display showed another swarm fleet approaching. Their dark matter ships absorbed all light, creating a void in space itself. But now, for the first time, they faced a unified response. "Begin Operation Chaos," Sarah ordered. Across 3 star systems, human ships launched seemingly random attacks, drawing swarm attention. Meanwhile, Nexari vessels powered up their superior weapons, targeting the exact coordinates human quantum computers had calculated would be the swarm's weak points. The battle that followed would be recorded in both species' histories. Human captains executed maneuvers that Nexari tactical computers declared impossible. Nexari weapons fired through gaps in spacetime that human scientists had theorized but never created. Together, they achieved what neither could alone. As the last swarm ship dissolved into quantum particles, Ixil turned to Sarah. "We were wrong," she said simply. "About humans. About everything." The Joint Command Center on Europa Base hummed with activity. Human and Nexari technicians worked side by side, their differences forgotten in the face of survival. Dr. Wei spent hours with Nexari scientists, their shared love of knowledge bridging the communication gap faster than any translation program. "Your species learns quickly," Ixil observed, watching a human engineer successfully repair a Nexari quantum drive. "We thought this impossible." Sarah smiled. "Impossible is just another word for hasn't been done yet. That's something you'll learn about humans. We don't believe in no-win scenarios." The Void Swarm had adapted to their initial defeats, growing stronger, smarter. But so had the Alliance. Human unpredictability combined with Nexari precision created battle strategies that the Swarm couldn't counter. Each victory brought the species closer together. "The Swarm's primary consciousness," Dr. Wei announced during a briefing, "appears to operate on a quantum level. That's why they can coordinate so perfectly across light years." Ixil's crystalline form shimmered with interest. "Our attempts to disrupt their quantum field failed because you were trying to block it," Sarah finished. "But what if we could use it against them? Feed false information directly into their network?" The plan was audacious, combining human ingenuity with Nexari technology in ways neither species had imagined possible. As they worked, cultural barriers fell. Humans learned to appreciate the elegant efficiency of Nexari thought, while the Nexari discovered the power of human creativity and emotion. The combined fleet assembled at the edge of Sol System. 5,000 ships, human and Nexari designs merged into hybrid vessels that represented the best of both civilizations. The quantum interference device, their last hope against the swarm, pulsed with energy at the fleet's center. "All ships report ready," Rodriguez announced from his station aboard the Horizon, now upgraded with Nexari technology. Beside him, a Nexari tactical officer monitored the quantum fields. Sarah shared a look with Ixil. "The swarm will know this is a trap." "They come anyway," Ixil replied. "Must consume. Cannot resist." The Void Swarm arrived like an eclipse, darkening the stars themselves. Their ships had evolved, grown larger, deadlier. But they weren't the only ones who had changed. "Execute Operation Lighthouse," Sarah commanded. The quantum device activated, broadcasting false consciousness patterns across the swarm network. Hybrid ships moved in precise yet unpredictable patterns, exploiting weaknesses that only existed for microseconds. Human crews improvised while Nexari systems calculated, creating a dance of destruction that the swarm couldn't counter. But victory came at a cost. Ships exploded, crews sacrificed themselves to protect the quantum device. The Horizon's shields failed under a barrage of dark matter weapons. Through it all, human and Nexari fought as one, their differences forgotten in the desperate struggle for survival. The quantum device overloaded in a burst of impossible light. When the radiation cleared, the Void Swarm's network had collapsed. Their ships, cut off from the hive mind, fell into disarray. The combined fleet seized the advantage, methodically eliminating the remaining threats. In the aftermath, the Horizon's bridge was silent. Sarah surveyed the damage reports with Ixil at her side. Half the fleet was lost, but Earth and the Nexari homeworld still stood. "Your people's solution," Ixil said, her crystalline form dimmed with exhaustion, "was not logical. Should not have worked. That's humanity for you, Sarah replied. We specialize in making the impossible possible. The reconstruction began immediately. Hybrid cities rose on both worlds, combining Nexary efficiency with human adaptability. The species that had started as enemies found themselves becoming something unprecedented, true allies. 1 year later, Sarah stood in the new Joint Council chamber, addressing representatives from both civilizations. We faced extinction and found salvation in unity. The Nexary brought precision, technology, and discipline. Humanity brought creativity, determination, and the ability to defy logic itself. Together, we're stronger than we ever were apart. Ixil, now serving as the Nexary ambassador, stepped forward. Our greatest error was believing superiority came from perfection. Humans taught us that true strength lies in imperfection, in the ability to adapt, to change, to evolve. We were wrong about many things, but learning these truths has made us better. As the assembly concluded, Sarah watched human and Nexary children playing in the council gardens, their differences forgotten in the joy of discovery. The stars above held new threats, new challenges, but they would face them together. In the end, the greatest victory wasn't defeating the Void Swarm, it was proving that understanding could triumph over prejudice, that cooperation could overcome conflict, and that sometimes being wrong was the first step toward being right.